Life Management Science Labs would like to acknowledge that we live and produce this podcast on the traditional lands of the Wurundjeri people. We'd also like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the lands of our listeners and our international colleagues. We'd like to pay our respects to their elders past, present, and emerging. Hello everyone, and welcome to Wealth Pathways, the Affluence Science Insights Podcast produced by LMSL, the Life Management Science Labs. We are champions of life management science, providing structured insights informed by science and inspired by practice on key aspects of conscious living. Each week, we bring you scientific and practical insights on each element with the expert knowledge of professionals in the field. I'm your host, Marie Stella, coming to your ears from Naarm, Melbourne, Australia. Let's learn together.
Hello and welcome back to the show. Spontaneity when traveling abroad can make for exciting experiences, but when it comes to managing a travel blog and creating luxury travel content, nothing is worse than touching down after a long-haul flight, only to discover that the best dining locations are booked out several months in advance, or that the city is observing a major public holiday where 99% of their businesses are fully closed. So this week on Wealth Pathways, the Affluence Science Insights Podcast, we're consulting tourism and travel management expert Sumiran Maheswari for advice on streamlining luxury travel planning and what it takes to make luxury look effortless, just as the world's top travel creators do. With professional experience in sales and reservations across tourism and hospitality companies such as Lemon Tree Hotel in Chandigarh as well as Balmalori in Mumbai, Sumiran holds a master in business administration in tourism and travel management. Additionally, she is currently pursuing a PhD in social media influencer marketing. So we're really fortunate to have her here with us on the show today. Welcome to the show, Sumiran. How are you doing?
Hi, Marie. How are you? I'm really good. Thanks for having me here. And I really want to thank your team and you, especially for as it was scheduled a little earlier. And just because I caught a bad cough and I had a really bad throat, so we could reschedule it today. So I'm great. And how are you?
Oh, you're so fine. Thank you so much for asking and all of your kind words. I really appreciate it. Also, not your fault that you got a cough. So we're really happy to reschedule with you. Thank you for spending time with us. Before we get started on talking about how to make luxury look effortless and what it's like to streamline luxury travel planning, tell us about your background. What compelled you to pursue travel and tourism management?
Okay. So great. So starting with the first half of this question. So I am a senior research fellow here at Central University of Jammu. And as Marie has already introduced me very nicely. So I am working on influencer marketing, which I'm trying to connect with travelers' decision and how consumers behave when they get impacted by influencers. It also includes virtual influencers and random human influencers. So yeah, I'm working on that. And before I actually joined here in 2022. So my research history has just been for 3 years here. And before that, I was working in Mamar and Lorry and quite a lot of internships I've done here and there in sales, marketing, and reservations department. So I have completed my bachelor's from the same institute and in tourism and travel management only. And then later on, I went back to my hometown, which is in Noida. So it's near about 50 kilometers from the national capital. So yeah, Delhi. So I did my MBA from there from IITTM Noida, which is Indian Institute of Travel and Tourism Management. And for answering the second half of this question, how did I chose tourism as my core subject? So it is the year 2015. I have to take you, Marie, to that year where there was a student who was just preparing for her medical entrance test, and I was so clearly aiming for clearing that exam, but sophisticatedly so it could not happen what I really thought so about. And I suddenly met a friend of mine who recommended me a course here. And so luckily I joined here, and one of my very closest friends taught me that profession is to kind of choosing a human, a human can't choose her or his profession to pursue it. So I'm glad that tourism chose me, and my personality kind of aligns with that. So yeah, pretty much that.
Oh, that's amazing. That's such a rich background. I love that you found a profession that chose you. That's incredible. Now, before we go further into detail and continue with the rest of the episode today, I just want to get some insight as to what you think are the biggest misconceptions about travel blogging, especially on the business end.
Okay, I'm really glad that you asked me this question, because being a consumer myself, I think that travel blogging and being a travel influencer, gets a lot of attention. Like, it looks so glamorous by sitting on the backside of the camera and, sorry, just consuming the videos and content. But the content creator, that side, has to do a lot, Marie. And before 2022, when I entered the search field, and I'm currently researching on how do this happen, and how engagement things and all. Then I got to know that it takes a lot. The efforts are so much into it. Like, they have to do the editing, they have to make a content just for the young audience or the older audience. So yeah, that's too much to do. And I think people try to think that they are just, doing it part time, but it is definitely a full time job. And my friend Anjali, she's a travel blogger herself, so influencer herself. So it takes a lot to be in this profession, I think, to do the editing throughout the day. And then if the content is not really interesting, then she definitely loses on the brands, advertisements, and definitely the followers. So yeah, I think it takes a lot to be in this profession, and it is surely not taken it very seriously. So yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I think we have kind of reached a point in like social media influencer or content creator discourse where we talk a lot about how it is an easier job than a lot of jobs, which is true. Like, for example, nursing or hospitality itself, those jobs are really, really, really hard. And that is true. But I think we have not yet reached a point in discourse where we're talking about like what the actual hardships of content creating is, because it's not for everyone. And as somebody who has worked in social media, in journalism, where like you have to post a lot, it takes a lot of out of you to put yourself out there all the time and be on camera all the time. So it's kind of like it's not the hardest job in the world, but it's also not the easiest job in the world. Like there's got to be a little bit more nuance in that, I feel. So I think that's an excellent preface for today. So thank you for sharing that. Now let's move on to the Have You Met segment. And this is where we get to know you a little bit better. So for starters, what is your favorite book?
Okay, so my favorite book, actually, I'm not a very strict to my genre. I don't have a strict preference for some genre, but I move very quickly from the medical fields to the romantic novels. And but the very first book which I read was The Secret. It is written by Rhonda Byrne, and she has authored it very well. And I think that that was the book which stuck with me and stayed with me for so long, that I still remember a quote for that from that book, which is um, that even if you switch your music type, like if I'm listening to a sad song, I'll definitely attract all the sadness. And so only by switching the music taste can transform your life very well. So that stuck with me, and I am a believer of law of attraction and what universe has to do with our lives. So yeah, I think The Secret is my favorite book if I really have to choose it.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you on what you said about the law of attraction. Like, I am very prone to enjoying melancholic music. And for a great deal of time I like just nonstop listening to melancholic music. And then only recently I've been like, maybe let me switch things up a little bit, play some ambient music. And ever since then I've been so relaxed. So law of attraction, guys, it works. My second question for you is, what movie have you enjoyed recently?
Okay, as the movies, there was a very strong recommendation from my friend for Shawshank Redemption, and apart from that, the movies which are very close to my heart are Whiplash. Very interesting movie. Have you seen that movie? Yeah, and The Pursuit of
No, I
Happiness.
haven't.
Okay, okay. I recommend it to you as it brings a feeling of never giving up. Situations are very tough to imbibe in your personality. So it teaches you how you'll have to be resilient and consistent towards something. If you really want to achieve it, you'll have to give a lot of efforts. But never giving up attitude is something very interesting and very the whole movie has taught me a lot. So I would recommend everybody to watch it once.
Oh yeah, I definitely have to put it on my list then. And what about podcasts? Are there any that you're listening to at the moment?
Yeah, actually, there's one of my favorite shows. I listen to a lot of podcasts, Jay Shetty podcast as well, but the Tim Ferriss show is my favorite. And I think they bring a lot of, new personalities, not only the celebrities, but then entrepreneurs and then athletes as well. And we get to know what all lifestyle changes can we do to just, improve ourselves day by day. So yeah, a routine based information and then a little bit of diet information and medical information as well. I just love to listen to their podcasts.
For sure. I do love that so much, like educational or like edutainment kind of podcasts are out there at the moment, not just ours. Especially like listening to experts talk about it is always really interesting. And I love that as well. And now, what about the people that you look up to either in your professional life or your personal life? Is there anyone that you've considered to be a role model?
Mm. Yeah, actually, this question makes me so nervous because I have been asked this question for the first time in the year 2007 when I was studying in the fifth standard, and one of the teacher comes up to me and asks me randomly, "Who is your role model?" And I have no answers. I was supremely blank, and no role models till now. But then, if my perspective to see who is our role model is one whom we know personally, like whom we have known since like what do they do when certain certain weak points occur in our lives or when life throws lemon on you, so how do they really deal with it? So if I really have to say who are my role models, so it would be my parents for sure. My mom, both my parents, my mom and my dad. So when I think about my dad, I completely go towards hardworking phase and being resilient, how you can bounce back from the situation which is too painful, which is too tough to even think of how can we come out of it. But yeah, to bouncing back, to be consistent with something, to be diligently working towards something which you are so passionate about. I have learned that from my dad. And for my mom, I think she wears a pair of spectacles which has a certain different lenses which whole world is unaware about. She looks Marie, she looks the world through her lenses in the form of selfless love. Her selfless love and kindness is not restricted to four of us. Like I have my sister as well, who's 3 years younger to me. But she is so positive and she has made me so optimistic that whatever happens, you'll get along with it and you'll have to just put on that positive lens in front of your eyes and it will all be okay. So yeah, I think, and not to forget my very strong mentors who have been there with me, and whenever some random bad situation happens, I just remember the whole motivational words from them. And yeah, and my friends also, there are a lot of friends who are supportive and so encouraging that I just can't give up on something which I'm passionate about. Yeah.
That's really sweet, and it's great to hear that you have so many role models in your life.
Correct. Yeah.
So my last question for you before we end off this half minute segment is: has there been a course or a class that you've taken that has inspired you?
Um, yes, recently I think I have been a part of Art of Living. Have you heard of it, Pari?
No.
Okay.
Oh wait,
It's
I
a
have.
very
Is it a book?
no, it's a course basically, but it also has a lot of books written on it. Yeah, I think you know about it. Yes. Yeah. So it's basically how you can put your body and mind together. Your mindfulness, yoga. It's a mixture of yoga, mindfulness, the peace of your mind, and everything. There's one yoga known as Sudarshan Kriya. We learned about it, and it relaxes your body, and the energy, that positive energy, resonates with you after you give just 1 hour to that session, and after you work on something or just get your hands on something, it just flows. I think it gives you some certain energy, positive energy, which just motivates you and encourages you in some way. So yeah, that would be the best session.
Yeah, that sounds like a really good recommendation. So, thank you for sharing more about yourself. It's been such a pleasure to get to know you a little bit better. Now, let's go right into what we're here to discuss for the episode today, which is luxury travel planning. But before we go too far into detail, I would love to start by defining some key terms. So, because this is an affluence podcast, how would you define affluence?
Yeah. That's a great question, actually. If we go by the dictionary term affluence, it would definitely point towards the wealth, or just the monetary terms. For example, money, or the products that people buy. But I think in today's world, as we are talking about time is money, and our topic is so resonating with that, so I think it is incredibly real, and it is so um, appropriate to use this term time is money, because there was a theory I was reading about, Veblen's theory of conspicuous consumption, and that says about people of luxury people. Basically, they buy certain products to just to depict one's wealth, or one's income, or social status. So I think has completely changed in today's time, and luxury means just how you are having an access to convenience. You just have to notice in some luxury travelers that they always look up for things which is far away from the usual chaos that they can face in multiple situations or multiple trips. They want personalized. They want total personalized things and trips. Basically, as I've worked in industry as well. So one of my mentor told me that every traveler should get that wow feeling. Wow. So I think wow feeling would definitely be delivered when somebody is known better and researched better, and has is getting that personalized effect, that customized effect, and they do not put a lot of money for just for the sake of traveling. They want their peace of mind. They want stressless life, which they are already facing. So I think to define affluence today, it would definitely be how to save time and to get that efficiency in that amount of time, which will give them so much better and stressless trip.
Yeah, for sure. And secondarily, how would you define travel blogging and particularly as well luxury travel blogging?
Yeah. So when I was in my bachelor's, there was an assignment I remember for making up a blog on the Blogspot. Okay, there's an app. So I went on it and tried to make a blog out of some cooking and culinary aspect, and that taught me that blogging is not just a piece of writing. It is how you put your personalized effect in it, how you put your digital story telling, personality traits in that, so that you reach a lot of audience. So many travel bloggers are, consumers themselves as they travel, and then they collect that experience, and then they put in, their blogs. Like blogs is not just a diary entry or something. They gather all the experience and then they write it in a way that I am sitting in India and you are probably sitting in Australia somewhere, and we are just reading their blogs and reaching to Tokyo or London by just reading them. So I think travel bloggers or bloggers for that matter are very important in these days, and they are, so much inspirational figures that even luxury travelers look up to them, and even a person like me who is already researching in this field, but still I look up to them, and where are they traveling, what are the key points to do, and this and that. So yeah.
Yeah, I do agree with that. I mean, like I love reading blogs, and I think like it's reflecting on how a blog becomes well known. It must take a lot of tenacity to just be like continuing to write the way that you write into the void, even if no one is listening, because there are going to be those days where no one is reading, and you still are going to have to publish content because otherwise your SEO would be dead, and your blog would just come to a pause, so I totally agree with you there. But how would you describe the relationship between affluence and travel blogging?
Yeah, rightly said, Marie. The SEO, very, very nice. The search engine optimization is very much required. For missed that point, I'll add it somewhere else in the questions. So, as I earlier described about how luxury travels being, they are so less on time. And when a person like that is referring to somebody's blog or even blogs or even any kind of content out there on social media, so it's not something like only a person who is belonging to some who is belonging to some non-luxury category, if we categorize it that way. It's all over the internet, and I still remember I was working in Palmer and Lorry, and people used to connect with us by saying, I saw this content, and I want something like this, something like offbeat traveling or destinations to visit in Europe. And we were like super impressed. Like they are so hungry for information. They are so aware about things and they, please trust me when I'm saying this, they are super researched about where they are traveling, how are they traveling. The affluence doesn't mean they are owning some private jets and only five-star hotels. It's not that. It's just they are so invested in their planning that they know travel bloggers names by their heart. Trust me when I'm saying this, they know travel influencers names by their heart, and they also recommend it to us when we are making some itineraries or something for them. So yeah, It's everywhere, and even affluent travelers are more hungry for information. So yeah, travel blogging and travel blogging, we are all so dependent on these content creators that they have to cover every piece of internet, and we only look up to travel blogs when we are trying to move around virtually. So yes.
Yeah. And in your experience, what's the secret to turning a travel blog into a profitable business? Where does an efficient travel plan come into play?
Hmm. Uh, yeah, as you mentioned about search engine optimization, so I would like to tell everybody about it a little. That when somebody wants to visit London, so if on any search engine, if they write 10 top places to visit in London, so your account or your blog about that has to be on top. You just have to attract a lot of traffic. And when I am so close to that friend, my travel influencer friend, that she teaches me how to attract audience, how to boost advertisements, how to boost actually the posts into advertisement, and she invests in that a lot. So now I have an idea, like she doesn't even have one application on her mobile phone. She has like, I think, a lot of applications, and even for editing, even for connecting to other platforms, other social media platforms, to build the network, build the reach, and to connect with a lot of brands. As I still remember when I was working in hotel industry, so they are super keen to work partner with travel influencers, or some kind of top notch influencer, so that they get much more clientele. So yeah, brands are super hungry for partnerships, but it's just have to be the right influencer to partner with, and the influencer has to reach their right target market, if I put it that way. So yeah, these tips, and basically to add, most importantly, artificial intelligence. Virtual influencers are all out there, and artificial intelligence have so many things like chatbots, many inbuilt chats that we can do. So yeah, they can all create that. So yeah, it would definitely benefit them.
Yeah, and I know that you mentioned one of the important things for efficient travel planning earlier in the episode, but just really plainly, what would you say are the most fundamental aspects of luxury travel planning without having to elaborate on anything, just really quickly?
Okay. So yeah, basically, I already mentioned about personalization, efficiency, and then how everything is in that amount of time. So I was reading a research paper who mentioned the luxury travel aspect in this world is looking out for more peace of mind, and very private luxury plans. So I think most fundamental pointers would be definitely how personalized their trips can be planned, and it varies to person to person. You might have some other personality traits that I have. So yeah, when a person understands and research about them and to curate about them, so I think personalization is definitely there. And then the efforts that have been put in that trip, so it shall be there. And then the emotional connectedness and the value for mindfulness, that I think sums up the whole question. Yeah.
Yeah, I really like what you said about personalization because like I was watching a video essay recently that was talking a little bit about how like as we lead into a recession and the usual symbols of status now becoming well because we have been chasing them for so long, the middle class or lower income people have been chasing those symbols for so long, they are inevitably going to change. Now luxury is no longer plainly luxury hotel, luxury like what we would normally think of as luxury. Now the new like form of currency in society is like your uniqueness, like one of a kind, something that not everyone else can get, because now people can get these things. But I would love to know like what the most common mistakes are when luxury travel bloggers try to plan their travel. What do you think those are?
Okay. Um, yeah, so I think the intent and the authenticity matters a lot when it is in regards to content creation. I think it's just not making a blog just for the sake of reaching the audience. It takes a lot. Like, you'll have to be authentic for what you say. I think it should come from your heart. Like, what are you all writing about in the blog, or what are you saying in your videos? Like, there's a lot of content consumption in the world, but then to put the right kind of content out there for the right kind of people who are consuming it, and how do you put it also, that matters a lot. For example, I have come across a lot of videos uh, which are creating some kind of content which is not even belonging to that place. So that matters a lot. Like, that kind of thing. If you make a 2 minutes of video which is purely authentic and based on your real kind of experience, that matters a lot. Your intent, your purpose of making this vlog, just not for the sake of reaching the audience and that. And one more thing that which I feel that matters a lot for making a travel blog or vlog very efficient would be that the pre-planning or the research behind traveling to some place and how would it be streamlined, that matters a lot. I think that should be the first point. You have to research everything together, all small details, and then you'll have to put it in your video. So I think that should be recovered. Yeah.
Yeah, I always do love when people kind of show some insight as to like how they got where they are, what exactly they did, what kind of roadblocks. It kind of makes you feel like you're being taken on this trip too. It makes you even more invested rather than just like I went here, like and that's it. Like I'm just here. So yeah, I agree with you on that. I am also curious on like the as someone who has worked in the hospitality industry on that end, what are like the potential hiccups that might occur from not traveling no, I'm sorry, not traveling, from not planning well enough in advance.
Yeah, exactly. So as I was talking about the whole research thing and pre-planning beforehand, I think um, I think being from a hotel industry, hospitality and tourism industry, I work both in travel trade and I have booked a lot of hotel rooms. So yeah, I can totally answer that as um, research is the key element when I have entered research field. So it's a key element, and research is not just making a novel insight and that's it. No, it's not that. Pre-planning and gathering all the small details, how much distance each place or each destination has, how much what we say, flight timings, and a lot of research is included in when you're planning a trip, or when you're planning especially a luxury trip, when you're talking about that. So a small detail is very necessary in everything, rather be it just booking a hotel room. No, that's not it. you'll have to gather all the small details around what are the monuments around, what are the lakes around or fountains and all. Many people are dependent on travel itinerary makers because they have researched so much into it. They have planned so much into it that they are the experts of it. So that's why they are dependent on the travel agents or hoteliers, because they are so much aware about the trends and all. So they can blindly trust in them, first of all. And if we are talking about travel blogging, so I must say that travel blogs and travel vlogs are so much in trend because they are itself very trendy. They pick all the trending things so that they reach a lot of audience and connect with them emotionally, because I'm also reading about parasocial interaction and relationship. So a person sitting and watching their reels on their mobile phone are so much connected emotionally with them that they bring on the perfect information that they consume. So I think that point works like that a lot. Like, yeah.
Yeah, like I think the food one is such a good point because my partner is very very picky about food, so this doesn't okay, this is not like the same as what other people have to go through. Some people have actual dietary restrictions. My partner's just a picky eater, but nevertheless, there are certain things that he just can't find it within himself to eat. And wherever you're going, like, it's one thing to want to have an adventure, right? Like, if that is your goal, if that is your travel content, then so be it. Like, that's fine. But if you're more of like wanting to make sure that everything actually runs smoothly, making sure that you look up what food's readily available or what is like the common process with food in that area or that country is really important, because you might end up like in a little bit of a pickle, and not sure where to get food that is right for you. So yeah, that's something that I feel like people don't really think about. Like, my partner didn't think about that. He was just like, let's see how it goes. It took a while. It took like a few hours to get to a place where he was comfortable eating there. He could eat things there. So yeah. But another thing that I think not many people remember is visa applications. Sometimes, to certain countries, depending on what your passport is like, or depending where you're going to potentially need a visa. And I do forget myself sometimes as well. And if you don't do it in time, you could be set back quite a bit, and your flight, your planning, and all that kind of stuff is going to go to waste. But on that note, money is money, right? In business, like, we have been talking a lot about optimizing time, because time is money. But in business, money is also money. So I would love to know what you think travel bloggers can do to produce content surrounding high end experiences while staying within a profitable business model.
Yeah, I am really glad that you asked me that, because many initial content creators are really figuring it out how to attract brands, how to deal with partnerships, and also, as we discussed in the previous questions, that first step is to um, like diversify your network. So to do that, there are multiple applications like YouTube, Snapchat, Twitter, which is known as X right now. So yeah, Instagram and a lot of platforms, but they can diversify their blogs. And once actually we published a paper recently in Journal of Promotion Management. So the major finding in that was that the most prominent content creators, influencers, are diversifying their network by promoting the same video or reel or content on the different platforms, so that they can reach multiple audiences. Because what I've noticed right now is that I am very active on Instagram, but not that active on Facebook. So it might happen that the Facebook content can be missed out by me. Okay. And the second thing is, as we talked about, like being a part of the industry and serving there 3 years then back then. So I noticed that there's a strong need for partnerships with the content creators, and to make and enhance our brand image, brand quality, the delivery of our brand or the image is has to enhance by the partnerships with the influencers. So major five-star hotel, or even the travel agencies, they actually partner up with collaborate with top-notch influencers, so that the audience get to know of their brand through them. Okay, so that's the biggest point for getting your getting being a face of that brand. So it will definitely add on to the monetization there. And of course, diversification is the other thing. Then the other thing is to partner up with the other influencers, like the micro influencers, which are working at the initial phase, can partner up mega influencers. And then when they collaborate together, the brands and the advertisements can get through them, also get through them to them, what I'm trying to say. So yeah, I think these three key points can work for them.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for shedding so much light into this subject. I've learned so much from you. But now I think will be the perfect time to go into practices and habits. And that's where we talk more about the day to day application of what you've just shared with us. I would love to know what is a habit that you'd recommend practicing when trying to streamline luxury travel planning.
Okay. As we talked about artificial intelligence, and it has a lot to bring upon, for us um, being a picky traveler and very selective in traveling. So there are a lot of chatbots available, and Make My Trip also has launched one of the chatbots, and then there's Wicked Trips and Geeky Mind and all. So there are a lot of artificial intelligence, which has enabled us to make our trip not only hassle free but also enjoyable, and what all personal details that we can share with them, like if I am a picky eater, for example, I have an allergy with the peanuts for say, so yeah, I can get my that preferences checked out. And also, when you talked about visa and stuff, it's very necessary to get all the details checked out of your list, like there's a manual of travel information manual, which has a lot of documentation details, that do you have your passport, your visa and everything. So that needs to be a check, so yeah, that is the second point. And then yeah, the chatbots and the influencers also, like virtual travel influencers and all, they have a small meta icon where you can personally chat with them. So they'll provide you details as per your requirement, because and they don't have a barrier, like there's some hesitation when one can talk to a human to human, so there's this plus point there. So yeah, I recommend AI tools to be used supremely. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I think with AI, like there is a lot of trial and error that will be involved for sure, but it would be interesting to see like also how they will be developed in the coming years. So yeah, thank you so much for sharing all of that with us. It's been such a pleasure to chat with you about this. I love just talking anything travel, and you've enlightened so much of this subject. But I think now would be a great time to hand the mic over to you. This is the open mic segment, and this will be your opportunity to talk about anything you're passionate about. And it doesn't have to be related to the topic, but the floor is entirely yours. So take it away.
Thanks for that. And thank you for providing me this platform, as it also has enriched my knowledge as well. Actually, being a travel student, I am unable to think about a lot of things which I'm passionate about at this point, because I'm too much into research, and I'm on the verge on completion of my PhD. So yeah, all in my head is with research, and research. So apart from research and travel influencers, I think I'm really passionate about watching movies, and I'm a total Bollywood buff, and I like to listen to music and all. So yeah, I can talk about it a little. And as in the earlier questions you asked about what movies do I prefer and what type of books do I read, so I think being in this session also kind of made me think like what really is my interest and preferences, because I am randomly reading stuff out there. So yeah, I think after this podcast I would definitely go and read much more videos which are much more books that are related to how to work on my communication skills, and also how to leadership qualities books also I will prefer to read. And then I'll go back to my romantic novels as I would want to. And related to my movies, I would definitely watch sci-fi movies again, and would like to enrich my knowledge there. And as there's very important aspect of tourism, which is film tourism, people travel through movies, they tap on the destination, like, okay, this has been shot there, and they travel to there to watch it. For example, Lord of Rings, the Lord of Rings, yeah, many people come to New Zealand to visit there. So yeah, that's why I would like to I would like to watch more movies, and bring that aspect as well. So yeah, I think that's from my side, Marie.
Yeah, I love the whole like movie tourism kind of field. It's so interesting. I've always wanted to go and see, not always. I actually only really got into Lord of the Rings like a few a year ago, but that's not the point. Yeah, it is really fascinating. I've seen pictures of the Lord of the Rings like Hobbit town thing in New Zealand. It looks beautiful. But yeah, and also I love that it brings like a whole new like audience to a particular country as well. Yeah, so incredibly like insightful what you just talked about there. Thank you so much for joining us. If our listeners want to find out more about you and what you do, where can they go?
They can connect me anywhere. My email address is already with you, and they can connect with me there. And also, I'm on Instagram, and definitely on LinkedIn. They can reach me out on LinkedIn anytime.
Amazing. We'll leave those in the show note. Thank you everyone for tuning in, and we'll catch you in the next episode.
You've been listening to Wealth Pathways, the Affluence Science Insights Podcast produced by LMSL, the Life Management Science Labs. More episodes are available from 10 life management perspectives and can be found by searching LMSL on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and other podcasting apps available on your devices. If you enjoyed this episode, please rate, share, and subscribe to our channel so that other people can find it and we can continue to provide quality content. More of our work can be found on our website at affluence.lifemanagementsciencelabs.com, where you can join our movement. I'm Marie Stella. Thanks for tuning in.